Last month, October, the Lexus TX sales just restarted and it showed 433, and it was only like probably a week or two where it came back. So November is where we see a full month, and that could actually now help Lexus regain increasing of sales. And in this video, we're going to look at November sales for United States, Canada, and Australia. Let's get to it. So let's start off with the United States, the total sales records for Lexus. So you can see here for November, we have 33,866 units. And when you look at that, that looks like the best November because since I have numbers since 2005, they have never seen anything over 33,000. So it's one of the best Novembers ever. And when you look at last year, 30,980, it was also the best for last year already. So now they're up 9.3%. That's quite good. If you look at September, October, where the TX was on stop sale, if TX was not on stop sale, I don't think these will be negative. And then if you look at overall the whole year, definitely it's actually good. So when you look at that, we're only missing 1 month, December, and right now we're at 308,628. And if we look at previous year, where we got 320,000, up to November, it is 282,000. So we're a lot more already. And then when you look at 2015, where we have 344,000, it was 303,000. So we're about like 5,400 units more. So definitely we have very high hopes that Lexus can actually break this 344,000 record. So right now we are projecting 346,040 units. So 346,000 will break the Lexus sales records in the United States since they've launched Lexus brand. We'll have to hold tight and really see if that can be accomplished. And reality is, if the TX did not go on stop sale, we have blown that already. I think we would guarantee that we will break that record. But right now, it's tight. You're talking about 1,400 units. So let's see if they can push the December to Remember campaign and be able to sell at least 41,000 units in December. All right, so now let's look at Canada. So November, we're seeing 2,504 units, and that is up 2.7%. And that's from 2000. It's also one of the best Novembers we've seen here. At least for the past 7 years, it is the best November. And when you look at the total, 27,337. This one is going to be hard to beat. The 31,199 last year definitely will not beat it. I don't think we will. Because when you look at this, right now we have up to November 27,000. Last year up to November is 29,000. So we are definitely like 1,000, like almost 2,000 short. But then when you look at 2021, we have 24,000 up to November, and they got 25,000, right? So 24,000, they got 25,000. You can see the gap between these 2 months is roughly at most 2,000. So when you look at that, we're looking at about 2,000, 29,417. So I don't think we will beat this record. But then when you look at it, the TX, again, we have the stop sale, and I don't have numbers for the TX, how much they have sold in Canada. But when you look at these numbers, that could make up that difference. So maybe 2025, we will see a difference, possibly. But again, as I said in previous sales numbers videos, the 2023 was a catch-up year. There were the NX catch-up, the LX catch-up, which actually made a lot of good sales records in 2023. And that's why we got to 31,000. This year, if we actually reach 30, it will be a bonus. 29,500, I think, would be very safe. We'll have to see how much they can push out. But again, higher interest rates, the economy and all that, it could hurt and may not be as easy. I think we should be happy about 29,000 because if you look at the previous like 5 years, 29,000 is a gain. a gain of at least 20%. So I think that actually already makes the new norm, and the new norm would be something under 30,000. We will just have to see 2025, are they going to be able to push above 30,000? And now we look at Australia. Australia numbers seems to be a bigger jump, okay? When you look at it, November, they did not beat the November record compared to last year, but they're only like less than 40 less, so they're down 2.8%. Not that much of a difference, but then when you look at the year, like there are 70 something percent, but then there's a drop of 40 something percent in May. It goes up and down, it fluctuates. So when you look at that, December probably will be very close to what we see last year. But then last year was not a record-breaking December. 2020 was the record-breaking one. But then 15,000 units last year seems to be a good number. But I don't think that that is achievable this year as well. So something very similar to Canada. 2023 was a catch-up year, and you see a significant boost. If you look at it, normally it's 9,000. They have 7,000 in the 2022 when they were short on chips and batteries. And then when you look at it, they doubled in 2023. But then when you compare to almost 10,000, they got like 5,000 units, like almost 6,000 units more. So now when you look at the new norm 2024, we are projecting 13,500 units roughly. Why we say that? Well, for up to November 2023, it was 14,000 units. We're at 12,000 units, so we're about 1,700 difference. But then when you look at previous years, 8,000, 7,000, 8,000, 12,000, similar to Canada, these numbers are actually very good. 12,000 is actually very good compared to previous years. And then when you look at it, if we look at another 1,000-ish, we get to 13,500 roughly. So we're going to do the breakdown for models, and it's for United States and Australia. Unfortunately, I do not have information on Canada. So for November, United States, 632 units for the UX, and it's down 14.4%. Compared to last year, there's 738. Year to date, 7,929, and we're projecting about 8,500 units. The UX really needs a refresh. In the United States, there's no LBX to compete with it, but the numbers continue to drop year over year, month over month. And when we look at the Australia market, 63 units for November, it's down 68.7%. That's even worse than the United States there. November, they had 201. Year to date, 779 units, and we're projecting 850. And that is a lot less than last year, where they had 2,245 units. The NX. In the United States, November 2024, we are seeing 7,065 units. Compared to last year, 7,332, down 3.64%. Year to date, 2024, 66,368. And last year was 65,942, so we're ahead. And it's the best ever projection that we're going to have, 75,002 units. Now we move on to Australian. November 2024, 517 compared to last year, 661. That's down 21.8%. And year to date, 2024, 5,619 compared to last year, 6,369. And we're projecting 6,130 units for the NX. And now let's move on to the best-selling RX. November 2024, we are looking at 11,756. That's up 21.2% compared to last year, November, which has 9,703. Year to date, 2024, 105,609 compared to 101,785. Definitely, they're selling more in the United States. And we're projecting of 118,317 units, and that would be the best ever, at least for the last 6 years. The best-selling in the United States doesn't mean they're best-selling in Australia. November 2024, 517 versus last year's 661, so it's down 21.8%. Year to date, 2024, 1871, and last year was 2,586, compared to our projection, 2041, it's still a lot under. All right, the brand new GX. In the United States, we are looking at 3,493 units November 2024 compared to last year 3,310, and that's up 5.5%. And the year-to-date sales for 2024 is 27,446 compared to last year's year-to-date 27,654. So that is definitely very, very close. And then we're projecting 31,670 units, and that is 240 units less than last year. And now moving over to Australia for the GX brand new model year. And this GX is actually the first GX model officially sold in Japan and Australia. And when you look at it, November 173 and year to date 753. And right now we are projecting 821 units. And we can't compare it to last year, so there is no comparison. We'll have to see, but they've only launched us about 5 months. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX 450H Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, share it with your friends. This definitely will help with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, or visit my Amazon storefront before you purchase anything from Amazon, or you can purchase products from the list on the items that I've been using with my vehicle or at home at no extra cost to you. And now let's continue with the video. We have the LX, and November 2024, we're looking at 656 units. Compared last year, 506, it's up 29.6%. And then when we look at year to date, we're looking at 6,076 for this year. And compared to last year to date, 6,374, it's probably 300 off. Not too far. Again, keep in mind 2023 was a catch-up year. And we're projecting 6,634, and comparing to that to last year, it's still 300 units below. And we look at Australia, the LX, 75 units for 2024, not bad, and 59 for last year, and that's up 27.12%. And compare that, we have 504 units year to date, compared to 2023, 924. And again, it's a catch-up year. We're projecting right now about 550 units. Comparing to 924 last year, it is significantly lower. The TX, after many months of stop selling, this is the official first month after they've resumed the sale, full month. So we're looking at 3,430 this month compared to last year, 3,083, and that's up 11.3%. Compared to year to date, 25,185 compared to 4,467. They only sold like a month and a half in 2023. And now we're projecting 28,919 compared to 8,201 units, and that's about 2.5 months of sales in 2023. And because of the stop sale, this caused the numbers to be a lot lower. I was expecting about 40 to 50,000 units for the TX, and because of the stop sale, the total sales for Lexus in the US breaking the record is a lot harder compared to if they had the extra 10, 20,000 units. The IS, no longer sold in Australia, so there's only US here. November 2024, 1,730 compared to last year, 1,578, and that's up 9.6%. And when you look at year to date, 2024, 17,488 compared to last year, 20,431. It's definitely less than last year. Again, the year of 2023 was a catch-up. We're looking at 19,277 as a projection, and comparing that 22,521, it's a lot less than last year. Let's see if it goes over 20,000. The ES. November 2024, 4,268 units, and that is up 33% compared to last year. And then when we look at year to date, 38,151, compare that to last year, 35,244, it's significantly higher. And then when you look at projection standpoint, 42,343. That is a lot more than last year's 39,117. And it seems like it has rebounded for some reason. And in Australia, totally different story. 70 units for November compared to 138 last year. It's down almost 50%. Wow. And year to date this year, 962 compared to last year's year to date, 1,610. That's a big difference. And now we're projecting about 1,049 units compared to last year, 1,727. But then when you look at previous years, 831 in 2022, and 2021 it was 802. So 1049 is not that bad. The flagship LS. So in November 2024, 159, same as last year, so it's flat. That's very rare, right? And then when we compare to last year, when we look at the numbers, 2005 this year, and last year was 2056, so very, very close as well. And then we're projecting 2,182 units, and comparing to that 2,237, that seems to be very close. It's a low volume selling vehicle, but it still has over 2,000. Not bad at all. So Australia, they sold one LS in 2024, and they didn't sell any last year in November 2024. When we look at year to date, 12 LSs were sold, and comparing that to last year, 20 were sold. And we're projecting about 13 vehicles being sold compared to 20 in 2024. This is a real low volume selling vehicle here. The LC has dropped 76%, 30 this month, 127 last year, and when we look at year to date, 1392 this year, 1607 last year, and we're projecting 1525 and compared to 1761 last year. So there is a drop with the LC. And when we look at the Australian market, 3 and 3, so it's flat for November. We see 50 year to date, 64 last year, and we're projecting 55 units, and comparing to last year, it's 70. Another low selling volume vehicle. The RC, probably one vehicle that has not been refreshed for a while. And when you look at it, for November 2024, we're looking at 152 compared to last year, 127. That's up almost 20%. Year to date, when we look at 1679 compared to last year, 1583. So it's still up. And then we're projecting 1,858, and that is higher than last year's 1752. However, when you look at the last 6 years, it continues to drop. Like 2019 was 4,600 units almost. So it's definitely lower, and it really needs a new refresh. So the battery electric RZ, 495 this month, and compared to last year, it's 1,107, so it's down 55%. And when we look at year to date, 9,300, compared to last year, 4,361, it's because they didn't sell the RZ for the 2 months in January, February of 2023. So when you look at it overall, we're projecting 9,850 units, and that's comparing to 5,386. So more battery electric vehicles are going out, but they're not selling as much as they should. So for Australian market, when you look at November 2024, 11 units compared to 35 last year, and that's down 68%. And then look at year to date, 200 versus 229. That is still close, but then we're projecting 218 units for the battery RZ in Australia. The LM, not sold in the United States, so here's Australian numbers. November, 49. We didn't sell any last year, but it only started selling in December. Year to date this year, 265, and year to date last year to November, none. And then when we look at projection, 289 vehicles this year compared to last year's 41. And last but not least, the LBX. Not sold in America, but in Australia, we see 128 in November and first year, so nothing in last year. And we look at year to date, 1,355 units. And then when you look at our projection, we are looking at 1,478, so maybe around 1,500. New model year, so you really can't compare it. I had a video talking about the LBX is actually helping UK make sales, and I think in the Australian market, it actually does help, but it doesn't help because it actually stole sales from the UX. So, with that being said, it seems like the LBX with the UX is just combined together and still not selling as much in that compact class. I hope that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.